Hello and welcome to Ancient History Encyclopedia. My name is Kelly and today I'm going to be talking to you about the dude in Greek mythology that enabled humankind to pass our early primitive stage with the gift of fire. Today I'm talking to you about Prometheus. Prometheus is known in Greek mythology as a clever trickster and gave the gift of fire to human beings and therefore enabled us the skill of metalwork. Now with this gift of fire, Prometheus brought a great wrath upon himself by Zeus. Zeus chained Prometheus to a rock and had an eagle come down and eat his liver every single day, and every night his liver would grow back to be eaten again the next day. Not a great way to live out eternity, unfortunately, but lucky for Prometheus, the hero Hercules made his way down past the rock that he was chained to and set him free. This I'll touch on a little bit more later in the video. Prometheus was a Titan. The Titans were in the generation before the Olympians. Now the Olympians were the 12 gods and goddesses that made up the pantheon of the ancient Greek religion. They were younger than the Titans and they were led by Zeus. Although the Titans are older, they were never worshipped as the Olympians were by the human beings. Now the Titans were eventually overthrown by the Olympians in a battle that sources say lasted 10 years, and they were thrown into the deepest pits of the underworld, Tartarus. Now Prometheus was one of the leaders of the Titans until he decided to swap and support Zeus and the other Olympians instead, and this is due to the fact that the other Titans wouldn't listen to any of Prometheus's ideas. With Prometheus's name meaning forethought, you'd think that the Titans would have better sense than to ignore his ideas on the battlefield. Prometheus, even in different versions of the myth, has always been an essential component of the creation of humankind. In one version of the myth, his son Deucalion survived a great flood by sailing in a chest with his wife Pyrrha for 9 days and 9 nights, and they ended up becoming the founders of humankind. Alternatively, some traditions show Prometheus creating the first human being out of clay, while some of them show that all the gods and goddesses created every single creature on the world, and the brothers Prometheus and Epimetheus, whose name means afterthought, were given the role of giving gifts to every single creature that they created to enable them to survive and prosper on the world. Now Epimetheus, by the time they got to the human beings, had given away all of his gifts, such as furs and claws and wings. Prometheus felt sorry for the weak and naked state of the humans, and so he raided Hephaestus and Athena's workshops on Mount Olympus and stole fire. He then hid the fire in a hollow fennel stalk and gifted it to the humankind. Prometheus, with the gift of fire, then taught the human beings metalwork and therefore became associated with both science and culture. In yet another altered version of the story, humankind already had the knowledge of fire. It was that Prometheus pulled a trick on Zeus to have him eat the fat and the bone of the meat rather than the best part at dinner one night. When Zeus found out, he took fire away from human beings and made them eat their meat raw. Prometheus then stole fire and gave it back to humankind. This particular version of the myth also gives us a reason why the humans would sacrifice the bone and the fat and keep the best meat for themselves. No matter the version of the story, the ending always ends up the same for Prometheus. When Zeus finds out that Prometheus has stolen fire and given it to humankind, Zeus takes him far, far east, potentially to the Caucasus Mountains in modern-day Georgia, and chains him to either a rock or a pillar. Here, Prometheus was bound to have his liver eaten by an eagle every single day, and every night it would regrow and be eaten the next day again by the same eagle. Now lucky for Prometheus, he wasn't bound here for eternity, but saved by the hero Hercules, who was on his way to the Garden of the Hesperides. This garden grew golden apples and was guarded by the dragon Ladon, and one of Hercules' 12 labours was to retrieve the golden apples. As Hercules was passing through, he killed the eagle with one of his arrows and freed Prometheus from his chains, and in return, Prometheus gave Hercules the information he needed to get into the sacred garden. Prometheus was worshipped in Athens, notably by the potters who had Prometheus to thank for the fire in their kilns. In honour of Prometheus, every year they held an annual torch race. Prometheus and his punishment by Zeus is also the main theme in the poet Aeschylus's play, Prometheus Bound. So next time you use fire, thank Prometheus for this fantastic gift, for we wouldn't be the human race we are today without him. This video was brought to you by Ancient History Encyclopedia. For more great articles and interactive content, head to our website via the link below. Ancient History Encyclopedia is a not-for-profit organisation, so if you would like to support our cause, please follow the support link down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.